So kind of tell us a little bit about that experience of making Tarot 5, what led to the story in there, and then where players can expect to adventure inside of Tarot 5, as it were.
So the idea here was we wanted a truly epic multiplayer interactive experience with a great story and an amazing mission that was really going to push a group to its absolute limit in order to beat the bad guys and to be victorious over them. And so that was sort of the gauntlet that was thrown down to us, and that I was very happy to pick up. I love writing great big epic stories. I like writing it where the stakes have never been higher and everything's crazy and over the top. That's one of the things I love about writing for Star Wars at all, is the fact that it's always huge, it's always amazing. You're always trying to make it bigger and better, and just, that's fun. That's a great challenge for any writer.
We spoke previously, actually just a minute ago, with Daniel Erickson about the game testing program. And
Don't tell him I'm here.
Okay. And about how that process is kind of affecting the team in general. How is that process affecting you as a writer of a class story?
Well, I love it. I mean, it's for me, one of the most attractive things about being a writer is the ability to go back and edit things. You never want your first draft of anything to be what goes out,
right.
for the public to consume. So the ability to go back and refine things, but also when you're initially writing it, a lot of it's theoretical. It's just words, right? You haven't seen what it looks like in the game yet, and now I actually have the ability to play through it and see my words translated into gameplay, and it's fantastic. I mean, we have such an amazing team. Everybody who works on this game is contributing their very best work, and it's really incredible to see it all come together.
His strength will fail. Then he will become the darkness.
This prisoner has been fighting the Empire for centuries. How is he still alive?
So what specific classes have you worked on the most, or which classes stories have you been involved with the most?
As I said, I'm the primary writer on the Jedi Knight class, and I co-wrote the Smuggler class, and I've written a lot of sort of group-based content throughout the game that players are going to encounter. But it's an extremely collaborative environment.
Uh-huh.
We have a writing team. We have a bunch of people in a room together, pitching stories to each other, and we look at each other's stuff. We play each other's class plots and things like that. I've gotten wonderful feedback from my fellow writers. It's always a pleasure to go into the office and work with such amazing people.
I imagine it was one of those drastic changes going from the Jedi Knight story over to the Smuggler, because they look like complete opposites, just in terms of character and what they're about. That had to be a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, and I saw Star Wars in the theaters as a kid originally. So back when Han still shot first, and so that was pretty much where I was coming from with it. Working on the Smuggler was such a dream come true, because when I was a kid, I wanted to be Han. I wanted to be the smart alecky guy with the giant dog and his own spaceship running around making trouble. But as I got older, I really started to appreciate Luke's story and the process of becoming a Jedi Knight, and it's very exciting. So in terms of writing for those two different classes, of course the Smuggler is all about sarcasm and being funny and never taking anybody seriously, although we do provide different takes on the Smuggler. You don't have to play it exactly like Han Solo. You can play a very different kind of smuggler. You can play a really nice smuggler, you can play a really mean smuggler. You can go full-on criminal mastermind if you want to. So that's a lot of fun to be able to write that much scope into a single class plot. But then, of course, transitioning over to the Jedi Knight, all the rules change. It may make perfect sense for the smuggler to say, sure, I'll save your village from the evil Sith that are coming to destroy it, but it's going to cost you.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense for the Jedi Knight to say that. The Jedi Knight says that, it's like, wow, that's a really bad Jedi Knight.
He's I want to kill you more than I have ever wanted to kill anyone. You die right here and right now.
We talked to Daniel about how kind of those beginning planets, the classes will be eventually kind of work together and their stories will cross. What has that process been for you, like as a writer? Starting that time where the smuggler first meets a trooper player, and then going out from that point.
Right. So you're talking about group-based content.
Absolutely.
And so yes, we have a big adventure planned for the first time that all four of those classes sort of are available to each other, and can all team up at the same time. And it was a lot of fun to write that because, as you've seen, we have sort of a competitive conversation system. So when you get in with talking to an NPC, you have that ability. Your little dialogue wheel comes up, and everybody's voting on what to say. And so when you've got a full party, lots of players all together, different classes and things like that, it gets really fun in a big hurry. It's people competing to say the really funny thing or to steer the conversation in a very unexpected direction. It's great.